Welcome to the show. Um, by the time you see this episode, Lisa and I will be back from a trip to Los Angeles. And I'm sure we had a great time. We always do. I love driving down the coast, although this week with all that rain, the storm, I'm hoping we're able to get through. There's no more, snow in the overpasses. We're going to take 101, so we'll go through, it's a little lower elevation than going over the Grapevine down Highway 5. Anyway, I digress. I talk about everything except what I should talk about. Got oranges on the table here because today's show is a lot about how to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. One of my big tips is buy what's in season. This time of year, the citrus is a very popular thing in the markets. And I actually shot a promo for this show that's on Facebook and YouTube and all those places. So hopefully you'll check that out. And I show myself going through the market and showing how much citrus is in all the markets around town right now. There's the Satsuma, there's the little, what they call cuties, all the wonderful citrus, the big navel oranges, the Caracara oranges, all kind of oranges available, citrus, lemons, limes, all that great stuff. So look at it. And also on today's show, we're going to start off up in New York, uptown at Fairway Market. This is some footage we shot years ago for one of the episodes of Pick of the Day. However, the tips are still, relevant. The same tips I gave 25, 30 years ago, I'm still giving now. Look at it, touch it, smell it, feel the produce items, buy what's in season. Oranges are in season right now, so buy those oranges. Then we're gonna go down to the Big Easy. I did a television and news show appearance. I think it was like a noonday show, something like that. Eyewitness News down in New Orleans. And I believe that's the same weekend that I really had a nice conversation with the champ, Muhammad Ali. We were at Emerald's Restaurant. I'll tell you that story some other time. What else? Then I've got my notes here. Then we'll go back to New York for a segment at Pick of the Day. Again, we're showing you a lot today about how to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. My 5 keys, I call them 5 tips, my 5, whatever you want to say when it comes to buying fresh fruits and vegetables. Look at it, make sure the produce look good. Feel it, right? Like an orange should be heavy for its size. That lets you know there's a lot of juice in it, right? And also, if you pull the skin and it pulls away, that means it's a sign of age. Stay away from that as well. So look at it, feel it, smell it. When produce is fresh, you can tell. You just smell that beautiful freshness. Peaches, as they ripen, they give off a beautiful aroma like fresh peaches. Same with mangoes. There's so many other wonderful produce items. Anyway, look, smell, touch, buy what's in season is important, right? I got off, yep. And then one more is get to know that produce person. He or she can tell you what's in there. Those 5 tips also work with any fresh food. And later on in the show, you're going to see me in the cold box at Fairway Market. This is like 20 years ago. And we're seeing this predicted back then that this would be something that was seen all over the country. Now you're seeing that you walk into markets and they've got a cold box where they got not just the beer and cold beverages, there's also places to go buy your seafood and so on and so forth. So it was great to be ahead of the curve back then. All right, y'all, enjoy today's show. When we get back from Los Angeles, hopefully I have some wonderful things to share with you today. I'm wearing my MJ shirt, my sweatshirt, because we spent some time in New York, and also underneath it I have my Pat Summon t-shirts on, thinking about women's basketball. I love coaching women's basketball, and I'm a huge fan of basketball. I'm a huge fan of trying to promote equality in sports. I'm just so pumped. There's some great games, men, women, just support local sports, y'all. Peace, spread love. See you soon. Hope you enjoy the show. If you got questions about fresh fruits, vegetables, buying foods, let me know, okay? Talk to you soon. Peace out. Ready, baby?
Hold on. When I pull back is when you start.
Okay, now I got you.
Hold on.
Hello. Look at those 2 yams. At least this is what we think of as yams that are marketed all across the country as yams. But let me show you what the real yam. These are sweet potatoes, the swollen roots of a member of the morning glory family. Let me show you what the true yam is from the tropics here. This is the Jamaican yam, Jamaican yellow yam. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. You see the liquids coming out? That's starch. Very starchy item. You can use this in cooking, making soups and starchy dishes so you can fry them. Also, look at this. This is the Jamaican white yam. Now, let me show you a Colombian yammy. It's a little different here. That's gorgeous. Look at that. Very starchy, wonderful, wonderful items. And again, it's a huge display up here at the Fairway Market. This is a wonderful place. So when you're uptown, drop by and say hello. Tell them Curtis from the Food Network sent you, okay?
Morning News.
Kids 12 minutes to 8. At age 26, he learned to read. 8 years later, he's the author of a cookbook called Curtis Aikens' Guide to the Harvest. It contains information on buying and cooking produce, and a portion of the money raised from the sale of the book goes to literacy programs across the country. And here with more is Curtis Aikens.
Hey, Sally, it's nice
so
to
nice
see
to
you.
have you
Oh,
here.
it's my pleasure to be here. It's I love being down in the Big Easy, New Orleans.
You're here for that big cable convention?
Yes, for the cable convention. I have a show with the Food Network, the television Food Network, called Food in a Flash. So those of you who live that hurried, busy life, our show is for you. And in fact, the recipe I'm going to do today is one from the show, but it's also from my book. It's for those who have the hurried lifestyle. We're going to do this thing in 4 minutes. So while we talk, can I get us through this while we talk?
I tell you what. Let me tell you. No. Slow down. We have all of 4 minutes here. Let me ask you this. Tell me about your life. I am astounded. At the age of 26, you learned how to read?
Yeah, I am very blessed, Sal, and I want everyone out here watching to know that, and I do know where my blessings come from. From first grade through high school and into college, I didn't learn to read. In fact, I started my own business, a produce company out in California called Peaches. While we're telling the story, I'm going to add the pasta to the water here.
That's angel hair pasta?
This is the angel hair in knots. Now, this will take about 12 minutes at home.
I'll watch
so
that.
I cheated a bit, Sally. I've got some already done. So I want our folks at home to see that. Also, I'm going to start the oil here. And the first thing I'm going to add are onions. And while those are sauteing, I'll finish telling this story.
Bermuda onions?
These are the Vidalia, the nice sweet onion. Me being from Georgia, I love those Vidalia onions, those sweet onions.
Well, we'll watch you. You have some mushrooms there.
I've got mushrooms, carrots.
Corn.
The next thing I'll go on is carrots. Now, at 26, I had started a produce company out in California called Peaches Produce. And again, I hadn't learned to read. So what really happened to me, I started to lose this wonderful business because of the fact that I couldn't read. I started this nice, successful business, but couldn't hold on to it because I couldn't read.
How could you even start a business not being able to read?
Again, I say I'm blessed, and personality and memory are the things that got me through. I made friends easily.
And you're very articulate. It's hard for me to think of you being
wonderful television
illiterate.
people like you and your sister Robin Roberts, and well, I'm making light of it. And that brings me home. And I want to get serious. For the people out here in New Orleans or in the area who cannot read, please don't be ashamed or embarrassed. These are the two things that kept me from getting reading help. Television also got me into reading. I saw a public service announcement for a literacy program out in California. I was living in Marin County, California at the time. And a PSA, a public service announcement for the local literacy group came on. And that was the first time I really felt like I could learn to read. If I called this number, I didn't have to tell anyone I had this problem, and they could get me help. And it worked. So those of you out there, there are programs here in New Orleans. There's the Literacy Volunteers of America. If you have a reading problem, please don't be ashamed or embarrassed. You can get to your local library. Or, heck, you can call me. I'm at the cable convention all week here. I'm walking around Bourbon Street having a good time, eating good food down in New Orleans, and I'm just having a great time.
We have a great literacy network through the YMCA here. So people can learn to read. How long did it take you to learn?
Well, now, you got to understand, Sally, and everyone watching, I was with my tutors for about 6 or 8 months, and I worked my butt off. And this is the thing that I really want the viewers to understand is that, or those of you who have a problem, and also those of you who read, it is wonderful. My tutors, Steve Hartman and Jenny Seibel, they said one of the best things that ever happened to them was teaching me to read. So those of you who want to give love, whatever kind of love it is, when you teach someone to read, you not only change their lives, but you save them. I mean, now I've written a book.
Yes, look at this. It's a fabulous
book. I've got 2 books, and I'm working on a third one, Sally. Yeah,
there it is, right there on the... And we're going to give out a phone number, an 800 number, and the Operation Mainstream number. So there it is, right there on the screen, 1-800-241-0113 if you want the book. And Operation Mainstream, if you're sitting out there and you've been embarrassed about not being able to read, you don't have to be embarrassed anymore. Call this number.
Don't be embarrassed.
486-7323. That's the number to call.
All right, let's wrap this recipe up. Folks,
Okay.
at home, everyone, all of us, the majority of us have salad dressings in our fridge. So we got our vegetables nice and soft. I like them cooked a little longer, like 4 minutes is plenty time. Now, all you have to do here is simply add some salad dressing.
Great.
This makes our
Italian salad
I'm
dressing.
using an Italian dressing. You can use a creamy or anytime. Just heat the dressing up, Sally. Then we can serve it right over
Over
our
the pasta.
vegetables. And that's what I used to call this my in-a-minute pasta salad.
I'm going to
And
try a
this
little
one,
taste.
It's quick, easy. Hey, all those husbands out there, you can make this for the wife tonight. And if you don't, I'll come to your house and bop you in the head.
And it's
You like
healthy.
that?
This
Yes,
is
it's
low
a great
fat.
recipe.
It's great.
I love working with you,
Curtis
Sally.
Aiken,
Can I have a
I like
hug?
working
I
with
believe
you.
in hugs. 8 hugs a day.
Oh,
Bye, y'all.
thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you. My pleasure.
And let's see, we'll come back talking with my mouth full.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have the weather forecast and traffic in just a moment.
Hey! Welcome to the show. I'm Curtis Aiken, and this is Pick of the Day. Ooh, what am I picking? I've got some nice bread, some challah bread. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And a little bit of that liquid Powerade kind of drink stuff, you know, for when I'm sweating in the kitchen. I need some fresh flowers. You guys know how much I love fresh cut flowers. We've got some dried ones here that are beautiful. I'm going to put those in. Need some flowers to go home with. And I got some fresh ones as well. Ooh, some sunflowers here. That'll make a nice little arrangement in the house there. But let's get to the good stuff, the stuff I love, the produce. You like my little produce counter here? Ooh, I've come out of the garden and into the produce market because most of us get our fresh fruits and vegetables at the grocery store, right? I mean, we all live within, what, 20 miles of a grocery store. So I think it'd be a good idea for us to just kind of deal with buying things in the market. Of course, I'll talk to you about picking them. Let's get some red peppers. I need some red peppers for my picnic coming up a little later, and some green peppers. Also, I've got a wonderful scale here. We'll talk time to time about using the scales. For those of you who are on a budget and you're watching where your money spent, you know what you have to spend at the checkout stand. So if peppers go for, let's say, $1 a pound, you know, you check them out. If you only have $1 to spend on peppers, that's a half a pound, so you can get 2 peppers, right? But in the summertime, or in some of the areas where the produce is real popular, you'll see the green peppers sold each, like 3 for $1, okay? 33 cents a piece. It's a good price on a pepper. Red peppers are usually sold by the pound, and these are the Holland peppers. Isn't that a beautiful pepper? Nice, firm pepper with a beautiful green stem. This thing, you could use this in stir fries and salads. You could take the top off and use it as a stuffer. Beautiful, beautiful pepper, loaded with potassium and vitamin A. Let's see how much this one weighs. If this sold for, let's say, $2.99 a pound, that's a realistic price in the summertime. In the wintertime, it gets much, much higher. At half a pound, that's about $1.50. And you say, oh, that's a lot for a pepper. But I'm telling you, this is one of those things that your kids will really love. So it may be worth the $1.50 for the vitamins and minerals that you get in your kid's tummy, okay? Now, paper bags. In my market, this is my market. Curtis Aikens is the green grocer here. I've got paper bags. Sometimes I'll put some plastic bags out to show you some things with them, but when you go to the produce market, I want you to make sure your grocery store has the paper bags for you. Why? Because the paper bags allow the produce items to breathe, okay? In a plastic bag, it causes condensation. In other words, the produce items will sweat, and then they start to decay faster. Now, let me show you another trick here. I'm going to put this in my cart, of course. Excuse me as I turn my back to you. Oh, before I get out of my dry goods, I need to get some paper, some plates for the picnic. I'm taking little Curtis and his brother Cole on a picnic this afternoon. Yes, I am. You can come too. You get down to the studios in time. And some napkins, of course. How about some chips? No, let's go with pretzels. The kids love pretzels, okay? So we'll put some pretzels in there. You like my grocery store? I love it. I just love it. Oh, some limes, I'm sorry. Have some limes. Make a little limeade if we have to. Also, I want to show you something else with the paper. Today I'm going to be doing something a little later on with peaches. So peaches is our pick of the day, but we have this wonderful produce market, so I get to do a lot of things along my way to the peaches. Ooh, onions. I've got some onions here. Look at this. Nice sweet onions. Vidalia or Walla Walla. It could be the Texas sweet. There are a lot of different sweet onions out there. And one of the tips, and I've talked to you about this in other shows, but when it comes to buying sweet onions, remember, the flatter the onion, the sweeter or milder your taste. I just love that. Also, at some point I'll give you tips on keeping from crying, which I think my favorite tip is to put my sunglasses on. Not to be cool, just to, because protects your eyes from the vapors of the onions, okay? But we're not using onions right now. We're going to deal with peaches. And I want to show you a quick trick here before we really get into our pick of the day. But peaches, and again, a paper bag. When you buy your peaches, or a lot of the fruit, the summer fruits especially, peaches, nectarines, plums, things of that nature, put them in a paper bag. If they're hard, you put them in a paper bag along with a tomato, okay? The natural gases from the tomato will help speed the ripening up. Now, we've been giving this tip on the Food Network since we launched, 2-3 years ago? And now I'm finally seeing these tips like out in California. The peach board or different fruit boards are giving the tip, use a paper bag. I feel great seeing our tips go across the country like that. Paper bag on top of the fridge, or in my case, on the counter here, we'll let that ripen up about a day and a half, 2 days, okay? Now, let's go to our pick of the day, which is the peach. Or should I say, our peaches? What? Pick is peach? Whatever, right? Peaches are wonderful. It's one of my favorite items, especially in the summertime. Being from Georgia, we were known as the peach state long before Jimmy Carter became president, right? In fact, I feel like the best peaches do come from Georgia. And I often wonder, is that because of my ties to the state, or they just tasted great? And they do taste great. Down in, Fort Valley is one of the wonderful peach production areas of the country. The Lady Bell, which is a white peach, is infamous in the Fort Valley area. Here is a white peach. Now notice the color here. It's much lighter than, let's say, one of the yellow peaches, the Alberta or Golden Bell, or some of the different yellow peaches, yellow flesh peaches out there. Look at the difference here. The white peach and the yellow, the golden flesh there. I think the white peach is pretty much like a throwback to the old days. It has a very, very strong, fruity flavor. It just kind of jumps out. Now, when buying peaches, there are several things I want you to remember. One, look at the peach. Make sure it looks good. There's no scars or soft spots. On the bottom, make sure the peach is nice. There's no green color in the netting in the background of the peach. If the peach has a lot of green in it, it will never truly ripen up and become sweet and juicy like it should. If there's green, it will shrivel up and dry before it ripens fully, okay? See, that's a beautiful peach there. I want to cut one of these and let you see. There are basically two types of peaches, a freestone and a cling variety. Cling means the flesh adheres to the seed, okay, to the pit. Let's see, we should have a freestone here. That's a beautiful, beautiful peach. Look how easy that cuts. Now I have a little knife for you to be able to see. Let's remove our sticker here. There we go. Now, my kids, when they're at the grocery store with me, they love to just eat them like that. So I always have to pay for 2 or 3 extra peaches. That's a freestone. You notice how it just comes away from the pit there? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's a nice peach. We can make peach pies with that. We could make we could add that to stir fries. There's a sweet and sour recipe that uses natural peach that is great. Beautiful, beautiful peach. Now, when it comes to storing peaches, you've seen me do the tip with a paper bag. If the peach is hard, place it in a paper bag with the tomato. The natural gases released from the tomato help speed the ripening up. If the peaches have a nice little soft, let me show you my thumb tip here. Make a fist, press your finger against your index, press your thumb against your index finger, and press the tip of your thumb. That's about as much give as a ripe peach should have, okay? So let's take and show you what I'm talking about here. We want to squeeze a peach. Look at that, just a little bit of give. If it's hard but still shows good color, it'll ripen up or it'll soften up for you and give good flavor, okay? So that's what I want you to look for with the peaches. Peaches are loaded with vitamin A, with potassium. It's a wonderful, wonderful source of fiber for you and your kids, and it tastes good. Okay? Okay. What else can I tell you about peaches? Oh, things to avoid. Like if you're in your produce market and you're looking through, I want you to avoid peaches, like I said, with dark spots. Look at that. Can you see that at home? Can we get a good shot of that, guys? Bill, my Mr. Director there. You see that where the skin has been bruised a bit? That's a over soft peach. It's just, it's no good. Now, the other thing I want you to remember about peaches, when you smell them, if they don't smell peachy, this is that easy common sense kind of rule. If it don't smell peachy, it ain't going to taste peachy. Oh, and that smells peachy, okay? So it's peachy good. What are peaches good for? Peaches are good, again, like we said, in desserts. They're great eating out of hand. They're wonderful snacks to send to school with the kids. You can dry the peaches, and later on in the wintertime, you can make fried pies, which Mom did a wonderful job as a kid. I've got a peach pie recipe coming up for you that I think you're going to love. It's Mama's peach pie, of course, so we're going to do that for you. We're going to take our first break. I'm never going to forget to give you those hugs, because we got a hug coming up for you later in the show, because 8 hugs a day makes a wonderful day, right? So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in the kitchen and make a peach pie. See ya! meat. Here I am in the Fairway Market, Uptown. You know, Uptown is like past 110th Street, right? Am I right? Past 110th Street. Let's do that again.
Past 125th Street.
100, yeah. Well, but Uptown is considered past 110th.
Right.
And then, okay, cool.
And we're rolling.
All right. Here we are in Uptown. Yeah, that's what we call it in Manhattan. Past 110th Street. Up, in other words, we're up in Harlem. You know, my part of town here. But in the Fairway Market, beautiful, beautiful display of the yucca here. This is a wonderful, wonderful. It's a root vegetable, root item that's it's indigenous to the tropical zones. Look at this. I want to show you the outer bark. Reminds me a lot of another produce item. La coconut. Look at that. Now, both pretty hard. The outer shell is hard like a coconut, but the inside flesh, let me show you. I've got one peeled open here. It's a pretty dense meat. This is a wonderful substitute for potatoes in some dishes. It's also great in salty, starchy sauces. So try that one out, okay? Now, we're going to get back to the studio, and I'm going to cook with some yucca for you. Ow! Okay, well, look, I couldn't find a coat big enough to fit me out here, so I had to bring my own jacket. Now look at this beautiful. You know what? Outside they have all these wonderful jackets for people to put on, but they're for little folks. Big guys like me have to bring our own coat. I absolutely love this room because I think this is kind of a trend for grocery stores all across the country. The whole department is a big cooler. Can you see that? You don't have to worry about any bacteria growing because everything is kept at a nice cold temperature. Butter, eggs, even the seafood. Look at this. Aren't these gorgeous salmon? Beautiful, beautiful salmon right here. And they also have the shells like little neck clams and they got oysters. They got everything up here. Look at the beautiful oysters there. So those who really love seafood, places like this are taking care of it. Look at that red snapper. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, wow, a little octopus there, huh? Little calamari, eh? We'll make some of the calamari. What else have we got here? Conch. Those of you down in the Key West area. Ooh, conch soup. They also have some dried or salted fish. And look at all the gorgeous shellfish. Now I'm hoping to have a friend of mine, Michael T. Williams. You guys know him from the movie Forrest Gump. He played Bubba. We're gonna see if we can get Michael T. in to fix some shrimp for us. Look at that. One of those 200 ways he knows how to prepare shrimp. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at those beautiful, beautiful shrimp there. Wow. Now look around the whole department here. I want you guys to see this. The whole department is kept chilled. There's fish, there's chicken, there's eggs in the back. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous market. And also the butcher's right in here. So everything is cold. Get out and try these stores out. We could do, but it might be real tough. If we try
We're going to make a sauce.
Well, we're going to tell right there.
I want you to play fish like
Okay. Now see, this is a free-range bird. Look at this, this is a free-range bird. And then the bird with the chemicals.
Oh, wow.
Look at the color.
Yeah.
See, we were talking about this in the Good Morning America show. See, we could do this, but I want to know if you really want to get into this. And what we could do with this show is we could have Mom make fried chicken. So it's like a natural tie-in. Okay. And maybe we can get the focus in them and just put us a couple of birds up here.
Other one, shoot a video.
Yeah. And then this is like. How are you doing today? Yeah? Is this fun, man? You're good? Oh, that's beautiful. We're gonna take a picture of this. That's a gorgeous. Is that cool? We don't let them fight. Look at the difference in the color. The birds are grown with the steroids and so on, as opposed to a free-range bird. A lot of people are always asking the question. Now this show, we're gonna have Mom make sauce. Look at that. We got free-range goose. Wow. Look. Oh, I'm just thinking out loud. Let me take a quick look. We got free. What's that? Isn't that just a beautiful display? Now, right here in this whole cooler, we've got free-range turkeys. They got free-range goose. We even have some ground chicken. Look at this, a ground turkey. All this is beautiful, beautiful meat. Now, I want to show you something real close here. I've got Jose, my poultry person,
the man in charge of me. Hey, Jose, how are you, babe?
Fine, thank you.
Now, let's show the folks. I want you to hold this up for me. I want you to hold it. Look at this, gang. This is a free-range chicken right here. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the outside here. That's a nice white piece of flesh there, white skin. There are no chemicals, no steroids in this. Now let's show them up one of the traditional type birds here. Now look at the difference in the color. It's yellow there. It's been fed with maybe some hormones or whatever. But this is what you find in local markets. Look for that free-range bird if your budget, if you can handle it. Now I'm going to have Mom on the show, and Mama's going to make her down-home fried chicken for you guys, okay? So look at that. I want you to check them out. Free range and the regular, like, hen-house grown chicken. Beautiful, beautiful birds, both of them, but I think this is the one you're gonna get the best flavor out of, okay? All right. Thanks, Jose.
5. Action.
Oh, you guys know how much I love my tomatoes, but during the off season, I don't want you buying the beefsteak type of tomato. These are gorgeous, right? But you know what? They don't have the flavor that you really need in the wintertime or late fall or, during the off seasons. Unless you're making a baked tomato or something like that, they work really well. And they also stand up good when you're baking and stuffing these tomatoes. What I want you to buy during the off season are 2 types of tomatoes. Either the plum tomato here, now you don't get the juice you get with a beefsteak type of tomato, but you get a lot of flavor, you get a lot of pulp for your sauces. You can use these on pizzas. You can use these in salads. They're wonderful, wonderful Roma or plum tomato, the Italian tomato. Isn't that gorgeous? Woo! And you can also fry some of these little small ones too. Mama's fried green tomatoes. Remember what she did when she was on the show and she made green tomatoes? Also in the wintertime, let me show you what I really, really love during the wintertime. I use the cherry tomatoes because they are loaded with flavor. And in my garden in California, well, in my yard in California, my cherry tomato plant is still putting out fruit. So look at this. We've got California cherry tomatoes, just gorgeous, inside the little plastic wrapper. Let me open one of these up so you can see these gorgeous tomatoes. Now they're a little pinker than they are in the summertime because the sun is not out as long, but they do add a lot of flavor. Also, I want to show you some Israeli cherry tomatoes that are just beautiful. And let's see if we can eat one of these as well. Now, the Israeli tomatoes, you find them in a little bitty packets like this, and they also have the stems attached. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of fruit. Look at that. Woo! Don't you think that'd be nice in a sauce or a salad? You can do anything you do with the larger tomatoes, with the cherry tomatoes. Just remember, it takes a whole lot more. Let's go ahead and eat one of these. And as I munch down on this wonderful cherry tomato, get back to the studio and we'll do some cooking, okay? Oh, beautiful. That's a good tomato. Those were good. Hey, welcome back. Thought I'd do a beach scene. This is cold back east, and it's been cold here in Novato too. All right, coming up is the winning soup. The last 3 were kind of my favorite. Well, I really like them all. That Sataj Indian place, my goodness, that soup is incredible. The winner was and is